Adishima me mamu nyina jo ema mwakwaba eba United Television so ye no siampa mu kase boy seka fi o memu ana fa mahudu bi so de fi UTV so ebremu no ebra so se de fi abeka gya hye pause ebremu ase da piesie kwa ma special asinsu ama sani agya tum se so proje ye woto mu ene wo sahye mu nyina no ya so no so pepepe ono mu a ahoden ko a this way chocolate drink and the coffee drink eno de de bia meka me no wia me se what tea wo so age so ofia ma me san se eno so ano ne a boost immune system no pa no directive kama no mokwada lit fufuo lit abekwan lit brekese na fe best point service no socialize best assurance so ehye baabi wo mu nyina ebo esi kasam na fe mbambo ama no atumi agina ne yakase boyi yedi mu akoti ne bi ne se na Supreme Court ko atetena no wo mo de ahye se yawoda ebe ne yehwe se Eraje Mensa obegina daka mu anase wo nyina mu
lawyer Chachuchi Kata asema woka eni se Agya Mensa emrem no ewo se ogina adakem
ebinu mo keka se COVID-19 trust fund no ade a abijokuo no ya boagu na so benfo kire se enya nokre
COVID-19 sensem ya emukesi 675 foforo ena yensa asanka se oman
yakwa ma shebedwa mu so speaker kire se COVID-19 no man homre so hododo enti na wotwe miensan emre shebedwa fo nya de bepene ma obi akwa ma shebedwa mako yadwuma
yako atwen mantam emu anananu hemfo ni omanfo no esu aden a wo se bia bia wo se ye health center no wagya ne saa ena April empanyifo emrem
ense bi ka ho ne de bram se ka se baskin kan fo yeso ma nanwumre ye me Agya Kwabena mene
Obahima Afia Asiedu
Afia ka se bo no emu nsam nie ye nyina ye nim sam se abayeto ye 2020 kwa na wie ye no ye de mampeni dada mahama kire se ne ma bi ye hyedan ko ye nti o de ko Supreme Court se wo hwe enka ho nsam adansi de bebre akoso ne nedai ena ekokoba ise na hu behia se ye hwesanye bia Eraje Mensa a ono ena oye electoral commission no ese so obegina adaka mu yetoto na no ana na bra owura Chachuchi Kata kasa no ode tudwa kire mu se ono no elo ye ni ede mampeni dada mahama wo kire mu se Eraje Mensa wo bra de ne nkrata hodo nyina adansi de nkrata hodo nyina eba ye no na eyade a wontumi ensoro nko gina ba bi nka se wo megina ho amia totona no esan se wo mu di kan ede nkrata ko Supreme Court wo se Supreme Court mpanyifo enhwe se wo mu nsemi se makomakodu mienu bi wo matwere ede ama Eraje Mensa ne electoral commission se wo mu enyia no entwere famra anu yie no eno so wo mu twere famra nanso enya de a ekokoba ne sa Supreme Court ebogui ema Eraje Mensa ne napamfo agitu mu se questions makomakodu mienu wo so bisa no won twere famra no so ogina daka mu a ayade a wo beyi sanse bisa na hodo ni nyina ano eno ti Supreme Court so ebogui na se wedding se akase obegina daka mu na ese ne begina daka mu na so nyina daka mu biodi a ene na yagitum anya de betumi ayeye na numu ena owura akoto ampaw ono so ye lawyer ni edema mampani na nado dankwa ekufo ado so datu je kire mu se enya de a petitioner me kire mampani da mahama lawyer fo betumi ahye o mo kate se wo fa adansefo emra megina adaka mu omom toto na no omche so mo ho kwan omemra emom ho kwan se woma na ede wom ho so mo pa ombedi adanse omo pa omu ni adanse akrobo nyina akọ na wie ye chi no ade Supreme Court mpanyifo ekire se womo akwakoda ene sumie afadwen na yawoda ebei se Eraje Mensa woma managina adaka mu ame atotena no anase womo wane eni adaka mu no omo ade womadu disem ebe betudwa
Yadaswa ewo Supreme Court nsam no emom na NDC National Communications Officer Owura Agya kasa nasema woka nyina ene se emremu aye Ghana mamra kase constitution aye didi dwuma ewo memo no ewo se ekwan bia so Agya Mensa ebebegina adakem na ototo na no se de be ya ensemi se ba ko mienu bi wo ha mo pese omu anu yie ene muaya ode bema no otumi ede masade Ghana amamra emakwan
de ntia Agya Mensa mpese be wura adaka ni mu ne se onimse na kumam declaration na waye ya court ne say or hwehwe ma hwese per that declaration and the figures in the declaration no o mampenya kufu adu nya more than 50% no Agya Mensa nimse wontimi justify Agya Mensa nimse na asem wa waka no radio so ni in the media so waye correction of the mistake no enya no kore obetena daka ni mu a ye bepa na wontoma she will be exposed because the ever changing figures ahodo nsia no ebegu nanimu ase ama Ghana fo nyina hu se onye nokwafo Agya Mensa nim se from 13 na odi aye ne exhibit 4 which is the presidential declaration form one ne lawyer say of failing on 9 December e de tare dan ho wo ba bia o ye declaration no onim se otena daka ni mu a e hu nsem bisa beba e bemma na da di se sa form no enye papa. She knows she'll be confronted with questions about the authenticity of that form and she cannot justify the authenticity of same. And until I will no. And until Mamuntie, dear Ebinomo can say, oh, NDC for another Mahama and Timmy case, that is why Jimensa says, your case I had about court only a simple. Why a declaration? Per why declaration? Oman Penyo Kufu do more than 50%. One casa wajia to Musa Wayan Fonso. But ye ka say nei o declaration wa ye nyina ye ba ko pe ensachiraya wa ye no mu bia ni wa o de won sa sha ase amana be ye mra na wa gazette. There is only one declaration, and it is that 40 declaration that has been enacted into CI 135 and has been gazetted. And some funso ni nyina no Jimensa nankasa age atum omo corrections omo so mari ni nyina no e anadwo man asem because figures ni sisi so. And even if a correction papa mpo a yen declare ye enact yen gazette. Until we have presented a compelling and a solid case, MPP for him said they have a case to answer. Crocodile the John near the room and asemi omu. And you saw say the president of the bench at some point beside lawyer Kutampa say now when you bra what you asemi we won fifiri we Jimensa na easy for lawyer na. So we should let you know that because they were the beneficiaries of the unconstitutional conduct of Jimensa, any the easy for aye nintino omusuo se maame no ebeba daka nim eya sense ba ye jayama court na court de atemu no aba
yentimi anyanyansa sema misa no asem na ye na ye ni makwa
ai na ye de no yenya decision on ya woda na the general secretary ka ene se una o se NDC for ye ni asem bia. We don't have any issue yet to be crime Misawas and Papa Bia because the case in Bugos. I don't know which that's not that anymore. Now be expose how hollow our cases. This is not the time for air to run. She must account for your constitutional duties.
Wasani okro ya hono ebebeto dwa se a lawyer fo a womo na ejinemu ema ye mampani Nana Dodankwa Akufo-Addo ede to dwa kiremu se enya de obefra danse ni bia ama no abedi adanse ewo ensem ekoso o Supreme Court no na yenyina nim se mampani Nana Dodankwa Akufo-Addo no lawyer ni Ewura Peter Makmanu a oye MPP ama yokuru ni ntini ba ko pa na ne dai bra atemu ene court nsem ni nyina ko na wiye no Nana Adwoa Adobia Asante a o kan lawyer fo a ejinemu edema ye mampani Nana do ekire se Supreme Court hye se adansini ni mra wo ma ye krado se ombegina dekem.
It is a tried principle of law that there is the right to be heard, but inherent in this right is the right not to speak. The petitioner exercised their right to be heard and they spoke. We have decided as the second respondent not to exercise this right. And in actual fact, a petitioner who has confidence, full confidence in his case, should be happy, probably popping some champagne or drinking some tea, because we have decided not to adduce any evidence. However, it is curious that the petitioner, on whom the burden of proof lies, wants the Electoral Commissioner to mount the witness box in order for him to use the Electoral Commissioner to prove its case. This is not heard of, and our application today was firmly grounded in law. As a lawyer, you have your strategy, and you decide which strategy to take at every point in time. We have always said that we are poised, and we are at the mercy of the court. If the court decides that we should give evidence, our star witness is more than ready. But it is curious to note that the petitioner has all the documents that he is requesting for. The petitioner has not met the threshold that has brought us to.
NDC lawyer Chachichi Kata small de etu dwanyina ene say e kwan bia eso e wo se Supreme Court e mama mi Mensa eba e begina dakam edi adanse e koba ne sa na atenten enya enan egi.
Interest of justice, the defendant should testify. That's what your lordship said, and I'm respectfully submitting that ratio is a ratio that is worth applying in the circumstances of this case. The only difference in the circumstances of this case is that they are relying on Order 36 Rule 43. And in my submission, that Order 36 Rule 43 leads to what they are asking for. And my lords, this will not be contrary to any human rights of hers, because she has a constitutional duty that she is performing, and if she is called upon by a court to come and testify to the performance of that constitutional duty, that cannot be contrary to any human rights. And this petition is about her own declaration, which we all watched. At least we watched a part of it. And the petition is based on what she said. There has been no other declaration. And your lordships will note that she did not even comply under her own hand. My lords, if the holder of such a public office cannot be held to account, examined after she herself has given a witness statement, then, my lords, with the greatest respect, we would be posing grave dangers to the Republic.
Yes, I can say bonusana ye call COVID-19 same nanse be betodwa se bedwaku a yete ye se COVID-19 trust fund omo enhwe so no bedwako no yaboagu na so amane boy nsaka afri bedwaku edwam tenani eye mami sofia abenakufu ho kire se nsema nkrofo kekan de nam wiem se bedwako ni aboagu no entisa
Amampenye Kufuadu ejamraso ebofoto se yemfata kuni da mantum fanku entie coronavirus no eno pawo abedweko se omonhwe sika no so na sa abedweko ntitinani ene maami so fire abrabofo akufu kane otemuafo panyini wache se efri October bosumi no mfimpim bienu ni aduonu bepim sambre no obi amfata ku anasa dama embre omoso omfanto foto nim wode nsemo etudwa ebra Ghana Holy Order of Cherubim and Seraphim for America eba yo mo adoye wache nsemo edikokosi se wo Isio anase epo bosune de to sonkono e wa afrase mu no ekuo no kokoye adoye ede mayaresabia ene ekoku awodro na ne bo no 37,276,585.23 Ghana cedis.
This check is very important for us because actually since October when suddenly people in Ghana decided that the COVID-19 pandemic was over. I don't know where that impression was obtained from. This is the first donation we have received from anyone of any sort. The COVID-19 National Trust Fund has not been disbanded. We were the first to receive a dispensation to be able to continue to do our work, because our work is cut out for us in a very extraordinary way right now. Right now, I think all together our balance in terms of cash is 7 million and a few pesos. And by the end of this week, we are expecting that the warehouse will even be empty of items, because we're making donations to a number of medical centers. So we're really running out of money. And we don't want all the money to run out before we start. We don't know where else we will get the money from. We are a trust fund set up to collect monies, not from the government, but from well-wishers, benefactors. So please, the benefactors, those who have already given us, Oliver is asking for more.
Ebro kasawi no kwanchefo penyin otitani abedieche edima Ghana Holy Order of Cherubim and Seraphim America omonso edensem se na tudwa.
Great job the government is doing and this organization is doing to help fight this pandemic, and we decided to come and help in terms of financial, and then as time goes on we'll try and bring some goods around to come and help. So we came just to help fight it down, because we've seen how this is killing and what life has turned to be because of what is going on. So we are here to do our part, and we are urging all Ghanaians to do their part to help out to fight this thing out, and God be our helper.
Yetwa yenkase bono esuna COVID-19 sensemia emono amane boy to dwa HSS Ghana yensasa ka 675 new cases kra ene yenya ede akadada e wono ehom na efi mansi makomako aduanan enan emo e wo mantam enwoche e wo Ghana mai emo na wohwede ekeka kona ehu so still enkramantam ahuredi kan won enye den 403 new cases enkran ekita a wonya efi districts anase mansi makomako edumiensa emo weye ensema ababeto dwa Director General Ghana Health Service Dr. Patrick Kumabwaje acheche bebre amaye.
We have recorded 675 cases. Probably the first below 700 in the last almost 8 to 10 days. They came from 44 districts and 8 regions and the airport. Greater Accra recorded the highest number of 84.8% of all of them came from Accra. In 13 districts and Metro, Greater Accra recording the highest amount. Ashanti recorded 99 new cases from 9 districts. Eastern region had 52 cases. Western region had 35 new cases. Volta region reported 50 new cases. Central region reported 10 new cases. In Bono, we have 13 new cases. At the Kotoka International Airport, on the 5th and 6th, we reported 5 new cases. Bono Ahafo, Bono East, Northeast, Northern, OT, Savannah, and Upper East and Upper West did not report any case on these dates. Our total number of cases on addition across the country is 267 for COVID. We have 29 of them being critical, and severe cases about 111, and the 127 of them are mild to moderate cases who are currently on admission.
Yada so COVID-19 semu na Dr. Patrick Kumabwaje esade tudwa echirimu se wo hwe wo mefi amanone ebe o manga na mu na kutuka wiemhye gina bre no wo mo a ebi o mo baga na mamu ha e wo yare ni bi no eso tipa.
We have so far reported positives of about 1,158 so far, with a predominantly male 61% and 39% being female. And of course, a significant number are non-Ghanaians, 60% against 40% Ghanaians. And so far, we've tested about 157,000 cases with a cumulative positivity rate of 0.73%. So you can see that even the positivity rate is still lower than the general population in Ghana. Then we had a lot of large cases in December and January. But in since February, we received some reduction as it shows on the daily positives that were recorded. In January, we have 430 as against 46 in September when we reported. So far, at the end of the first week of February, we have recorded 27 positive cases. We are hoping that if the trend continues, we'll record much lower figure than January and December.
Osofo mampenya boni dia senima nyina ekoyi obede obosofo hey honorable Kojo Ponkroma wakasa na asem ode etu dwane ekokobo eko ede ma wiemhye nwumakuo enyina ese wo yakwa wo ye wiemhye adwuma na obefa passenger bia onkita PCR results e chese wo ye COVID-19 test ne bia hu sonsa bobe na wo fasa passenger natna wiemhye mu no si ye chesa wiemhye adwumakuo na yade a ye bema passenger bia abon ekabese $3,500 eno any asotwe sika ye beji edefi obia enchen.
Airlines who board passengers without PCR results or who transport or disembark passengers with positive PCR test results into Accra will be fined $3,500 per passenger. Ghanaian residents who depart Ghana and return within 1 week will no longer be required to present a COVID-19 result from the country of departure. They will, however, undergo mandatory COVID-19 testing upon arrival in Ghana. Passengers will be subjected to the mandatory COVID-19 test at the airport terminal at a cost to be borne by the passengers as indicated as following. Ghanaian and ECOWAS citizens now, effective, I think, 8th of February, 6 p.m. UTC, pay $50. All other passengers will continue to pay the $150, and this must be paid before embarkation. And if that doesn't take place, the airline will be sanctioned for it. non-Ghanaian passengers may be refused entry and returned to the point of embarkation at a cost to the airline if there's no proof that they have complied with these guidance notes. Ghanaian passengers will have their passports seized, the passenger handed over to the state security agencies and taken into a 14-day mandatory quarantine at the designated location at the passenger's cost. That is for those who, for some strange reason, it is found that they have not complied. The airline will be surcharged and the individual will also face the measures that I have just mentioned. All arriving passengers who test positive for COVID-19 will undergo mandatory isolation and treatment at a designated health facility or isolation center at a cost to the passengers, except Ghanaian citizens. Now, for passengers who are transiting and transferring through Accra, they will not be required to take the COVID-19 test in Accra. Transit passengers will be required to adhere to COVID-19 testing requirements for the destination countries. Some category of persons are exempted from this. Airline crew, as has been advertised already, are exempted from the pre-departure and arrival COVID-19 testing and should follow the airline policy for testing. There's a separate policy for them. They'll have to follow that one. Children under 5 years of age will not be required to undergo testing on arrival at the Kotoka International Airport.
Yeah, that's all COVID-19 same we be no much say the yare no shase epipi schools outdoor no sakebe ya anke schools mu na so kwanche for penny or child right international that to jechem so on the osusu say ye to school mu anya de ho hia.
Nipa bebre na ekoso enya coronavirus ni bi ewo Ghana na school sawodo no so nkoda no enya bi efri abraban ema ye bi school no wenti Ghana fo bi akire mo adwen senke be ya amampanyin hwe na yento school sawodo na enkoda no mrafie anamso amakwanche fo panyin edema child right international ekwa enhye abayase kasa de ma enkrofa hodie owura bright Afia Afia central fo nhye mu akire mu sedebi enya nduru hokora se yeto school ma emwa Ghana enwumasua no de saban etimi eye ne wama doctors eco school sa wodro mu kohwe enkoda no na yebo mobile free coronavirus ne honya say ye beto school mu.
The rate of spread amongst Ankara akosro kakra by 1.04%, but eba Ankara omodi omoko hospital no less than 1%, and to us share that enye hu bisa ebetimi akase Ankara na dum pempenso bia yare no diomo enyantino na asietimi anamo a ebetimi abo asania yentimi hu ze cases no ebekosro na eba enkora omahwe omonkwanso a from the 10th of November up to date no data na yenya so far no show say akorabia akababi as a result of COVID no. And clearly no all these are three indicators no boswa o man no yentimi nkasi ye dum pempenso bia COVID no high ankora enti no say yetimi tu anamo bia ebetimi aboa senia the rate of spread no entimi nkosro bio enti ye dia tudwa say based on ejuma ya ne ya tudwa say aban emfanka nhyehyɛ ho say pediatricians a mutimi ye nkora ho adwuma no eba say nkora ne bi ye admit wo hospitals a ombe refer omu to Sancroft senior ombe timi ahwe omu ye ena ye recommend so say esa ban etimi oye periodic random testing was schools mu asore mbia enkokara wo bia no na omutimi hu the rate at which COVID no spread amongst the Kora, because nkora do na omonya COVID no enye as a result of testing and komukro mu hu se omaya den omanya COVID nibi because we peke Akosubu International School na enkora 553 omo test for COVID no about 73 of them omo yankora teachers for be nya bi ba omo nka 73 no omo nkora nkwa 73 of them enya COVID, and the situation also is not so serious amongst enkora no until their condition is stable. Your medical system no so ametimi omo ya hwehwem the rate of spread that occurs on Koramu, and as to whether or not the admission rate, there's a potential risk say the admission rate of children in Kora or hospitals now once they are able to do that for us in a year, then we can come to the conclusion saying they be for now no yen close, but as we speak the data na ya wono ya the total indicators no no mean gindi say ya dum pepe so be betimi aka say ye be close down schools and
COVID-19 sensem ejin ewo memesan se etrepa na eno nam so momamfo bebre na yam hihye omo esan se wo kompotem a community infections no na etrete kese na nya dada na yenim kra no ye UK de na ye se ayiniti ewo mai emoi enti UTV en cameras ekwa pro ye ne Ghana fo bi atwetwe nkomo a yaje omo adwempo coronavirus ni mpre no so ayiniti Ghana ha se no ano edimpa fofre yi niti ewo ingresi memo bi abepie Ghana ha se no enhwemu ekire se ani enyan na no edin che kanede na esai santem so enhwemu ekire na Ghana ha se de bia no nipa be aduonum yenu 25 ene nyade ni bia na wotwe no nipa be ahanso 700 enam so ama UTV ene Ghana fo edin komo won kran ebisa o mo se sen na coronavirus no mu hu no ewo Ghana ha
memfa so mampanyin bi school parents bebre akwa school fees books empaboa wakwa boka bebre amampanyin so rose matuma ane de moaye parents no memfa so oto school mo kwa o yire tufie o hwe nkola ukọ wani di wachi se memba ye de na moye nyame ado no wabie school na nkora iko school a se wa kire no ye se ukọ ahoro nsa enji obi aduani ni she nose mask ne ye moye ho ban emfiri sa yawe no sa wunya bi
ene ukọ ba bia no o hwe ni pass the way ya gada ya ho na ase baby was say Ghana for me hu ni say ase yabre de besiliensi na mesre yare ne ho ya matepa enti wo so wa wo be wadwen say wo de hwemfa ho no ono so nam o hwemfa ho de a ono so be mo hu say ese bibi fa ho enti yemma hweye emre ye ho na yare no eteni konanim school side ne de so na sorry no protocols ni edwuma no omo hwe so ne say schools no protocols ni edwuma ne say yare no so pejane mudia me meka se mampeni fa ni nansi for
online education is the most important thing on strengthen and non kola ni nyina obia maame enhwe se ne ba anya be 4 hours bi TV ho ana computer ho a o sua ade on ma teachers ntina TV so entra ade ni hu se form 1 time ni form 2 time ni form 3 wo pese obaye ye bia obegina ho se ne ebe ya ye benya smartphones ama yemma ni make sure say because say no sa akwala ne obekwa hwe we internet so bia no we should accept it because obewu COVID di abre yen no onko hwe ne obehwe bia we internet so no kra ye better than we should all die because minimum say COVID ye maya omo research mo a omo behu ne omo no mbepe COVID ya no edro di abre nti yesra abai because mpenyimfo ne omo
nkra no mo nko ho hia se me nko ade a nka mpanyimfo mo mo nko ne nka nkora nketo no nka wo mo nsan ama wo mo mrafie opanyimu de obetimi ahye no sumase no akora de o de hye na enura se me nanan okọ school no o ba na akwase se no sumase no bebire na ekihye ne bag ni etika me furu se mpanyimfo mo nko ne nkora ne betena fie a nka beboaye school fees ne de ye tua na so sika de beto no enko ho hia cheni sika
Afia wutie mame okasa sisi na se ne nana fi school ba no mask na ogu fam no asesa de aba fie
oh mobo
enti ehun be hia education hu hia pa se ye man kwada na osan se de ode ba no nim de odi
onim hwe
ehun hia se teacher for no se ni kom ho ma ye kakra e ba sa nsem no ma ewe madaro mamomi to kra ba ye kase bo no ye beto aso